It's time for another TBR. This is, I think, the third month that I'm doing this type of video, I guess, for my TBR. And I'm actually having the time of my life. It's so fun. I'm loving it. And it's making me really go through like my physical TBR. It has shrunk quite a bit. I'm really excited and I'm hoping that I'm gonna get some good prompts. I don't know, I'm having like positive energy going into this. Okay, first prompt. I think that I'm gonna do around like 7. That's the amount of prompts that I did last month, and it honestly worked pretty well. So the first prompt is a hardcover book. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted. I actually own only one hardcover book. Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. This is the author of Heartstopper. I like Heartstopper. This one was not for me. I actually started it years ago. Literally, like, I want to say 5 years ago. I read half of it and then I just put it down and never picked it up again. So here we are. I'm not excited to read it, but at the same time, I'm kind of excited that it is on my TBR. So it's kind of like more possibilities of me actually reading it, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna actually read it because I have been staring at it on my physical TBR for years now. And I don't want it there anymore. The second prompt is going to be, hopefully a good one, and that is a black cover. This is going awful. Does that count as a black cover? Great. Oh no. No. I was like, oh, I have like The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Maybe that's like considered a black cover. No, it's definitely not. But what is considered a black cover is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is, I want to say, fantasy. This is like Romeo and Juliet vibes. This is also like historical fantasy. I think it takes place in 1926, and yeah, I don't know. I have read great things about this book, so I am very curious, but it's just, I'm a romance girly. I'm not like a fantasy girly, and I am so scared to just dip my toes in fantasy. If you have read this, please let me know if it's like easy fantasy or if I'm just gonna be confused and feel dumb the whole time. Hopefully it's pretty easy to understand, otherwise I don't know. I really don't know what I'm gonna do, but yeah. Black cover, yay! If you didn't realize, the positive vibes really just are not here anymore. So prompt number 3. A yellow cover. Okay, well, at least I can do a romance for that one. I don't really have a lot of options. There's only one book, and that is Make Me by Tessa Bailey. Now the thing is, I think that this is the second book. No, it's the third book. This is the third book in the Make Me series. No, in the Broken Beautiful trilogy. I do have like some other books, but it's just their spines are yellow. They're not like the actual covers are not yellow. So I feel like that's cheating. I own the first book. I don't own the second one. But it's just like... So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put it, and maybe I'm gonna read all of the books because they are pretty short and they seem like fun reads. I do want to read like more Tessa Bailey books and just kind of read more of her backlist because I have read quite a few. So I kind of want to just read all of them, or at least the majority of them. So that might work. The next prompt, which is prompt number 4, I think, is going to be a book with a name in the title. Okay, so I have like 4 books. The first one is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This is obviously has like the name Simon. So I could do that. This is like a young adult book and I have been curious about it for years. For some reason I have not picked it up yet, but I am kind of curious about this. Then we have From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. I think like the name is Lukov. It's his last name. I don't know if I'm in the mood for this one. Then I have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I am 100% not reading this one because I am so scared to read this one. It was actually on my TBR for March and I did not pick it up. So we're definitely not doing this one. And then the last book is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've heard great things about this book and I do actually want to read it. So I am between these 2 books. I think I'm gonna go with this one. I'm more so in the mood for this one than The Seven Husbands. So I think I'm just gonna go with Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. Okay, prompt number 5, right? Yes. A book at the bottom of my TBR list. Where are the positive vibes that I was talking about? I cannot find them. I cannot find them. I found like 2 books. So the first one is The Fake Up by Justin Myers. This is a book that I picked up pretty recently, but I have literally not thought about it since, and I low-key regret buying it. Like, it's not on my priority list by any means. It's definitely like one of the books that I'm not looking forward to reading at all. I actually wish that I did not buy this. I don't know what it's about. I read the back and I truly just don't understand it. I want to say that it's like a second chance romance. And then the next book is Here for the Drama by Kate Bromley. I have not heard great things about this author. The story does seem interesting though. I don't know, it's kind of like forbidden romance, and I think that she ends up being in a relationship, falling in love with her boss's nephew, and her boss literally told her, I don't want you to just have a relationship with him. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one because the other one, I do think that the story sounds like a tiny bit interesting. Whereas this one, I'm not curious about it or anything. So I think that this is the better option for this prompt. Can you tell that I'm not having fun? I went with such like positive vibes and this is what I get. Anyways, prompt number 6. Okay, I got 2. A book written by multiple authors. I actually don't even know if I have one. No, I don't actually have like a book for that. So I guess we're gonna pick up another prompt. I don't have even like a Christina Lauren book, which is like 2 authors. The new prompt is a book with more than 300 pages. Yeah. At least now like I have some more like free will. How many pages is this? I think I'm gonna go with The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I have been wanting to read this for quite a bit and it's like 390 pages or so. And lately I have seen so many people talking about this book and saying that it's really good. So I'm kind of like, oh, let me read it. I think I'm gonna go with this one. This is like small town, Alaska, dislike to lovers, and just kind of like grumpy main guy. It seems really interesting. I will say that I have heard that this is not so much like a romance, it's more so literary fiction with a side plot of romance. So I do need to have like my mind open to that going into it and not just looking for the romance. Okay, last prompt. Prompt number 7. Let's see. A book you never heard anyone talk about. Great. Okay. I found 2 books. The first one is The Love Square by Lara Jane Williams. This is an author that I read a novella from, I want to say like 2 years ago, and I did really like it. So I was like, oh, let me just pick up a full novel from them. So I picked up this one. This is like a love square, obviously. It's like she moves into like a new apartment, a new town. There she meets like 3 different guys and she's like just trying to figure out who she actually wants, I think. I don't know, I picked it up before I knew that I was not a fan of like love triangles, so I just love squares. Don't sound that great. And then the next book is The Handover by David M. Barnett. This is basically about 2 security guards. They work in a museum and one of them has like the day shift and the other one has the night shift, and they only meet each other kind of like the change of the shifts, I guess. I don't know how they actually end up falling in love. Oh, apparently something happens in the museum and they try to figure that out. I feel like this is less of a popular author than this, so I think I'm gonna go with this one. And I have had this longer on my physical TBR than I've had The Love Square. So I feel like this is gonna be my chance to read this book. But yeah, that's literally it. 7 books. The only book that I'm excited about is The Simple Wild. I don't know how I got so unlucky. Here we are. So now like a recap of all of the books that are on my April TBR. We have Radio Silence by Alice Osman. Then we have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Make Me by Tessa Bailey, which is the 3rd book in the Broken Beautiful trilogy. Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. The Fake Up by Justin Myers. And lastly, The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker and The Handover by David M. Barnett. So yeah, these are all of the books that I'm gonna try and read in April. The prompts were not nice to me this month and I don't know how I feel about it, but like at least I got some books that I have been putting off for a very long time, so I guess that's something. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I'm gonna do my best and we'll see how it goes. I hope that I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye!